It's Friday, February 25th, 2022, and this is Dan Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm Dennis, and I'll be your host as we review the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as other superpowered stories that caught our attention. And when I say we, I'm referring to my wonderful co-hosts and guests this week. First up, he's gearing up for 3 hours in the theater next week, but I bet you he still hasn't watched Eternals in the comfort of his own home. It's Frank.
It's 100% true. I haven't watched it. There's so many other AAA movies that I wanted to see, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Lamageddon. I watched Lamageddon yesterday. That was a film that they made.
You were talking about that one last week on the Soapbox, I think.
I was, yeah. Lamageddon. There's one more that I was gonna watch, but actually, I wussed out. It's called Noah's Shark. Which I definitely was talking. I was talking about.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. I wished out. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
I would really like it if you got around to watching Eternals, so we could talk about that.
Okay, I'll watch Noah's Shark if it means that much to you. I'll check it out.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next person, and our guy behind the switches who hopes to hear Moon Knight next month use that famous catchphrase "I am the Knight." It's Ricky.
Do I?
I mean, like last night you're pretending to be Moon Knight and going around saying I am the Knight, and I'm like, you know he doesn't say that, right? Like that's not.
I mean, I figured he would. It seems on brand. Frank, was the movie you were talking about called Noah's Shark or Noah's Shark?
That would be a great one too. I'd watch that one.
That's the sequel. That's
the sequel. Yeah, it's part 2. No, it's Noah's Shark with a K. They have a bunch of different ones. I don't know if they're all real. There was like the Amityville Shark, and like they had a bunch of different ones.
This is all deja vu right now from last week.
Oh yeah.
Familiar. All right. Well, let's get somebody new on the show here, since you guys are just old hat at this point. As I mentioned, we're fortunate to have a special guest joining us today. I'm gonna say probably our first Emmy award-winning producer on the show. Welcome, Selena.
Hi.
I don't know. I don't normally check everybody's credentials, so I'm not certain, but we're going to say you're the first one, and that's a prestigious moment for us.
I'll go with it.
It's good. It's good. Welcome to the show. You've been a fan. I mean, you've been in our comments for about a year now. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure watching you all grow. I feel like I watched from the beginning, and now you're all here.
And are we better?
Yes.
She's on no. Absolutely not.
I mean, objectively, we probably are, but like by how much?
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we've become less bickery.
Except last week when Frank tried really hard to make it happen again.
You didn't want to bicker. Let's bicker about you not bickering.
All right, I'll do it.
You just wanted to be mature and then move on. That sucked.
Or we could talk more to Selena, who's our guest today.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Selena, you had me include that fun fact about your Emmy. Do you want to talk about it at all? You have more than one, don't you?
Yeah, I have 2.
Yeah.
I used to be a news producer, local news, and I got those both when I was working at NBC San Diego for a newscast when there was a shooter at the Poway Synagogue.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and then the second one was for the riots and the protests that happened during, George Floyd and all that unrest in La Mesa. And then I quit because I couldn't do it anymore.
You're like, I don't want no more damn Emmys from you guys. I'm out of here.
Yeah, two's enough.
That's like a razor sword or double-edged sword Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever considered using them as a weapon?
No.
Okay.
But that's a good point because they are heavy, and the wings are like sharp.
Like it's like a clue weapon for sure.
Yeah.
Like a clue weapon for sure. And I think it's safe to say that since Ricky's showing off your Emmys behind him, that you're probably living in the same domestic situation. For anyone watching the show, I'm blowing up. I'm blowing up your spot.
Ricky got the Emmys in the divorce.
Yeah.
She got the car. He got the Emmys.
Wow.
I got the dog.
I would get one, right? That's how that works.
You get one.
Yeah, there's two.
You have a good lawyer. You have a really good lawyer.
You split them down the middle.
Or you could cut both of them in half.
Okay, yeah, I like that idea better.
That's cool. Well, Selena, I think I have some formal stuff I want to get out of the way, but then I got some questions for you before we move on to the rest of the show. So first up, just for anybody tuning in, we do have a fun show. It's going to be something different. We actually are doing this one based on a suggestion from Selena about, I want to say like 2 months ago. She's like, you guys should do Encanto. And I'm like, we should do Encanto. So as advertised, we'll be putting a spotlight on Disney's Encanto, which came out like 3 months ago, something like that, 3 or 4 months ago. Whatever, it's fair game. But before that, we have some nerd news to discuss and a round of trivia that we like to call Contest of Champions. We got no trademark on that, but I think we're good. For those of you joining us live, don't be shy. We'll be checking the comments regularly. And if you can't get enough of us, where can they find us, Frank?
They can find us on OnlyFans and Fansly. Where can they find? Oh, Patreon. Are we talking about Patreon? Are we pitching the Patreon?
I knew I shouldn't.
Or Skillshare? Was it Skillshare?
I shouldn't have flipped the script.
On Quora.com.
Yeah.
You can find us at patreon.com/10xmedia, where you'll find a variety of creative offerings, including recent episodes of our after show, The Soapbox. It's also live, and patrons get an exclusive access to chat with us. But if that's not your thing, don't worry. We'll be releasing it to the public next week.
I thought you were going to say, like, don't worry, we won't be asking Frank any more questions for the
evening.
Okay.
But before we move on to all that stuff I just mentioned, like I said, I had a question for Selena. We've been asking everybody this year that comes on our show, and I was just curious, what nerd content this time around, like outside of Marvel, gives you life and why?
Like right now?
It's up to you, however you want to answer that question. What's the stuff that gives you life that you love to nerd or geek out on?
That's not football.
Oh yeah, I was definitely gonna say football.
Frank adds that. He adds that caveat to it. That's why I say nerd content, but
I mean, if you treat it nerdy, I'll allow it. If you want football, Selena, I'll allow you to answer.
There's a lot of stats in.
There's a lot of stats. There's a lot of stats. If you like football, you like football, Selena. That's fine.
Like a tabletop game, mutant football, whatever.
I don't know. Sorry. This is your question, and I'm on stats.
I wasn't prepared for this question. I feel like you ask people like, what does Marvel mean to you?
I did that all last year, and then my new one that I've been asking this year is this question.
Wait, it sounds like you have an answer for what does Marvel mean to you. I'd like to hear that if you.
Well, no, that's just the one I was expecting, and I was just going to answer whatever came straight to my mind. But
we're doing it live, so you're like, it's live.
It's live. We're live.
Giving me life. Podcasts. I like to listen to those, when I go walk my dog. Pop Culture Happy Hour from NPR is one of my favorites. And Fresh Air, also NPR.
And
Terry
why?
Gross is my lady.
And I'm just curious, what's the why part of that question?
I just like listening to stories. And I think that's like part of the reason, I went into storytelling and I was in news. I was a journalist, researching stories and stuff like that. I just really like hearing people talk about their experiences or just hearing people talk about what they like too. I'd rather hear other people talk than hear myself talk.
That's fair enough.
So that's why I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I get it. I feel you. And I can totally 100% tell you that that's how I used to feel before I started doing a show with Ricky all those years ago. And so here we are, and I'm pretty comfortable with it now. So it gets easier.
You guys had a show before this show, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but what I'm asking is like, what was the name of the show? Like, do we have power? No, wait, we have spoken. I don't know why that was so hard.
Well, yeah, that's why I said that's why I said a couple. That's why I said a couple years ago, because this show we've been running for just over a year. But yeah, Ricky and I did a show before that. But we have Lindsay in the comments just asking, aren't you a running nerd? I think she heard that somewhere, that you like to run a lot too.
Yeah, I was running a lot for a while. I ran a marathon last June. It was a significant milestone though, because it was like I was running 26 miles on my 26th year. So I had just turned 26. So I was like, I have to run a marathon to like mark it, you know? So that's literally the only reason I did it. So I was just running forever.
You know, you could have just done 1 mile every year and it would have added up the same. I mean, the baby mile would have been really hard, but you know,
it gets easier.
It definitely gets easier. You can see your progress more like over time.
It was definitely more like mentally challenging than physically challenging too. I feel like anyone can. I feel like I need to stop myself there. Never mind.
You are too self-conscious, and my recommendation to you to help with the nerves and the self-consciousness is if you want to, go grab a big shot of something and drink it. And
is there like is that part of the Paralympics, like a chair marathon?
Oh, he's just making this
up. He's running with it.
He's making it awkward.
We're gonna dance around it. I mean, I might as well dress.
We're gonna dance around it now. Now you're gonna dance, Dennis?
I don't know. This got awkward.
Let's just roll with it.
I mean, I got a brand new chair, so I don't know what it can and can't do. Like it, maybe I can dance in it. So
only one way to find out.
Yeah,
you were turning it up at your wedding, dude. You were like breakdancing. It was sick.
There was a lot of alcohol at my wedding.
The chair had a lot of alcohol.
It's true. Man. There was a lot spilled on me too. So that's fair.
Oh shit.
All right, we're gonna move this on so that we can put the spotlight more on Ricky and make other people have to talk a little less. Don't act like this isn't your favorite thing to do ever. Let's do it, Ricky. Let's do the news.
Let's do the news. Alrighty, kicking off the final full week of the month of February. What do you guys want to start? Some movie news, some not movie news. What do you guys feeling?
Hey, Selena, as an Emmy award-winning producer of news, is this typically how news goes? Do you just ask your audience what news they want to hear first?
What news do you want to hear, guys?
Yeah,
that's a no.
Yeah, okay, that's fake news. You want the real news?
Do you want the fake news? I don't know. I defer to Selena on that. Is that a legit question you get asked or he asked?
No,
she's okay.
You want the fake news?
I'm supposed to not put the spotlight on her for a minute. So do your news, Ricky.
Okay.
Do it in the order you have chosen.
Marvel casting update. Just a little bit of tidbits on some characters and some people who will be playing those characters in upcoming movies of the Marvel variety. Starting out, the gentleman on the right, where is it? Fred Hetchinger will be playing the Chameleon in the upcoming Kraven movie, starring Russell Crowe and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, that's awkward. So the Dimitri in the last Spider-Man movie wasn't Chameleon?
Yeah, he
was.
He could have been. Dimitri, maybe he could have been.
Yes.
What's Chameleon's like dealio? Like he can is he like Clayface? Like he can transform into other people, or is he just like have a really good mask?
No, he has masks. He wears masks.
He doesn't take on the powers or does.
If it's the 90s animated cartoon, he has a special belt that projects a that projects
hologram or whatever.
Yeah, different images and voices and stuff like that, even if he's never heard them.
You think we'll get that in this movie, or you think we'll just get dude in mask?
Well, we're gonna get something different because I think the MCU's already shown the mask gimmick several times, right? The Mission Impossible mask gimmick has been used.
Yeah, it's, I guess
it was even used in Winter Soldier, I think, right?
Yeah, Winter Soldier a few times in that movie, right? And I think
Black Widow.
Yeah,
Black Widow, exactly. So they'd probably have to do something to make Chameleon more special than that, right? Like, so who knows? But whatever.
The gentleman on the left is Aaron Pierre from Krypton. I guess what he's most known for. He's gonna be joining Blade in a unspecified role.
Okay.
I don't know who he plays in Krypton, but do you watch Krypton?
I do not.
All right. Well,
I tried watching it once. It's
on Sci-Fi, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the CW app as well, I think, or maybe on HBO Max or something like that. Yeah. Never bothered.
Well,
I don't really care about the story about the planet where everybody has normal powers.
I mean, they're all gonna die, right? That's like the whole point.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like why I told you like I didn't watch Swamp Thing. Like I was one episode in, they said they canceled it, and I stopped watching it because I know it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Same with Krypton, and they kept saying Krypton.
Oh no, that's
pissing
me off. That's the Marlon Brando way to pronounce it.
Well, something that's not going somewhere for right now. We have a slight
story
on the Defenders, the Netflix show, all the Netflix Marvel shows from last week. So good news is they are coming to Disney Plus. The bad news, as of right now, it's only going to be in Canada.
Thank you for answering the question that I was going to ask, because like I heard about this news, but I was like, I have a feeling that's not the US Disney Plus, because I don't know if people know this, but we get like the tamest version of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like other territories, they get like rated R movies and stuff on there. Like they get like
Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yeah, they get Taxi Cab Confessions. They get the entire Fox library, I believe.
It's like Hulu. It's like a Hulu amalgam, basically.
Right. Yeah, because Hulu's not everywhere, right? So I think they just kind of blend it. So like Deadpool movies are on Disney Plus in other territories.
Is the holiday Deadpool thing on Disney Plus, or is that still on Hulu?
I couldn't find it on Hulu. I've never seen that version available. They only have just regular Deadpool 1 and 2 on Hulu.
Along this, I don't have the exact showrunner, but one of the showrunners for one of these shows, a person connected to these shows, was kind of doing some interviews around. And they were, one of the rumors or things that was floating around was that if this were to pop up on Disney Plus, that it would be censored in some capacity.
Yeah, I know.
And that might be a big no.
Just put them on Hulu. It's fine.
Hulu. I think everyone would be cool with it on Hulu. You can
Selena
live with the MODOK and everything.
Selena, have you watched all of the Netflix Defenders shows?
No, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Really?
TBH. Yep.
Okay, so you've never watched Daredevil, huh?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I know you guys talk about it all the time, and I was like, I should probably watch it, but I have not.
Well, you can't watch it much longer, so I think you got 3 days. 3 days?
Yeah, we got 3 days to blow through all of Daredevil.
Perfect.
Yeah, you got 3 days. Honestly, I would say just watch season 1 of Daredevil, and if you're not impressed by that, you have no reason to even try with the rest of it. But if you are impressed with it, you still almost have no reason to try with the rest of it too.
Or if she is impressed with it, she could fly to Canada. Now's a good time to go to Vancouver or Victoria.
Go to Canada for a vacation and just sit in the hotel room
with our sponsor NordVPN.
With NordVPN, you can change your region to Canada.
And
can they sue us if we plug them and are not actually sponsored by them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, there you go. Well, we're not actually sponsored by them, so there you go.
There you go. Last bit of news for what I got, at least. We're getting another Fortnite Marvel collaboration. Fortnite Zero War. It's going to be coming out later this June.
Oh, they're doing a comic, huh?
Mm-hmm. So this is the second comic series, tie-in series that they've done with Marvel, or this will be the second one that they've done with Marvel. The first one being the the Thor comic crossover that they did about a year or two ago.
Okay.
What's making this one special is like the recent DC crossovers. This one will have skins attached. So it's a 5
nice.
comic run. You buy one comic, you get a code for an item in the game. You buy all 5, you get whatever collection it is. So
That's cool. Did you know? So you're unaware of the other Fortnite thing that just happened yesterday in the?
I was
Marvel
aware.
news?
Did you
he's
buy
Mr.
that?
Fortnite.
I thought you said that was all the news you found, and I was
No.
saying they added a Rogue and Gambit to Fortnite yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. You couldn't help but see it, or at least I don't know. Do they change the pictures and what they sell on the PS5?
It's your news feed on the PS5 is determined by what games you follow, and so you're automatically subscribed to every game that you own. And Fortnite just happens to update their news feed like often, so that's why you get those on your PS5.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Did you purchase both Rogue and Gambit?
I did. They're cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're very cool looking. They come with the X-Jet and the Blackbird.
Oh, is that how they fly down? They just ride the Blackbird down?
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's
But it's
sweet.
but I think it's like a glider. It's like, I haven't
hang on to it.
Yeah, it's like a miniature Blackbird. But
I think
in
we
any
have some
case.
toy news though, right?
we do. I'm pretty sure Selena's excited about the toy news.
Yay. You guys should have sound effects.
We should have sound effects. I like the notes.
We
That's a
thought
good
about
note.
background sounds, background noise.
We can do. Well, remember we're gonna do the background music during the game.
All right.
But we do
Testing.
have some news. I mentioned this last week. I said there would be new Marvel Legends. Hasbro finally held their first live stream of the year this week, and they revealed a brand new wave of Avengers comic book based Marvel Legends. And so there they all are, but I can go into each of them really quick so you can see. Frank, what do you think? We got U.S. Agent and Madam Hydra.
Pretty cool.
These are actually the second versions of each of them in Marvel Legends. So these are kind of like every now and then they take a chance there. They take a moment to update their old toys. Cause like if I showed you the old ones, like the Madam Hydra is just butt ugly. Like it's just a bad toy, man. And a lot of people were upset the U.S. Agent back in the day was very thin and small. Because I guess John Walker is a bigger. He's generally drawn bigger, right, than Captain America. So they gave him the updated body to make him like look more appropriate and stuff. And I guess that's his OG shield, correct, Frank? Like that's his original shield.
Yeah,
the blue ring.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what his first shield looked like. So there you go. And then we had to get, because you can't have a Marvel Legends line that doesn't have either Iron Man or Wolverine. So here we go. We got two fan favorites. We got a brand new Thor and an Alex Ross inspired Iron Man.
That's the Fortnite Thor.
That's actually the Thor when he was a Herald of Galactus.
Fortnite.
I've never actually read that, but I like the Alex. That's the first time I've ever liked Alex Ross right there. I think.
Oh yeah.
No, second time, but that's still good.
I like Alex Ross. I don't think that looks like an Alex Ross thingy.
It was designed by Alex Ross.
Oh, okay.
And then that Thor, for anybody who gives a crap about Norse mythology, he comes with two ravens. I'm pretty sure they're named Hunin and Munin. Somebody will like that comment.
That's somebody.
So Raven.
Yeah. And then we were just talking about him last week. We got Blue Marvel is for the first time ever a Marvel Legend, and Speedball for the first time. What do you think of that Speedball, Frank?
That's super sick, actually. I miss Speedball when he was like before he was Penance.
Yeah.
I
what
miss
is
that
a
happy-go-lucky
Speedball?
guy.
What does he do?
He's like he'd be
fast?
perfectly played by Ezra Miller, I think. No, he's not fast. He shoots like little balls, little beams of balls.
But he's different than Gold Ball, right?
Yeah, he's different than Gold Ball.
Like, is he though?
He doesn't produce eggs. I don't think you could fertilize Speedball's
His balls are not
Has
fertilized.
anybody
Like
ever
that's his...
tried? Has anybody ever tried to fertilize Speedball's eggs?
I'm sure when they're lacking for stories in the future, they might bring that one back.
Don't you
out of
hate on
nowhere.
that story? Don't you hate on that
Wait,
story?
where do the balls come out of? Are they like you just shoot them out of his hand?
Yeah, he shoots them out of his hands.
Okay.
His hands look like cheese.
I know, they look pretty delicious.
They've just got a lot of
looks like a
balls
Slim
all over
Jim.
his hands. A lot of circles. A lot of circles.
Um,
And then there's one last figure in the wave. This one was a special one. It's for the first time ever. It's Quake, but they actually added some accessories so that you can change her into Maria Hill, or if you have other female heads, you can swap it to be just any old Shield female agent.
It comes with hands too, or are those
it comes with special gauntlets for like removable gauntlets and hands for Quake.
Quake was introduced in the show, right? That's where she. No, okay.
No.
They just made her Quake.
She actually existed long before the show. Yeah.
Okay.
In the comics.
What does she do?
She creates basically earthquakes. She can vibrate things. Like she can vibrate things in generally the ground. But she was actually introduced in a Secret Invasion storyline. Secret War. Was it War? Which one comes first? War or Invasion?
War comes first. I think
she is an agent of Shield, right? Who has powers, not the other.
Yeah. So she was a product of basically when the invasion happened. Like when Nick Fury first got wind of the invasion, he went and created the Skrull invasion. He went and created a secondary like covert team of secret warriors that he could use to sniff out the Skrulls, and he knew he could trust these people, I think. But did any of them end up being Skrulls? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember either. Actually, I don't remember who was a Skrull. Actually, I'm staying away from that storyline just so there's no disappointment when Marvel does their Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
it's got to be different though, right?
No, it totally will be. But
yeah,
I think the differences I'll be like, why didn't they just do that? Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that? I just want to avoid the neckbeard discourse that's going to come out of me when
that's fair.
Marvel makes it.
Yeah,
that's why I like when they do stories that I'm not familiar with. You know what I mean? Because then it's harder for me to compare. So, and then the Build-A-Figure for this wave, I know Frank is pretty stoked about this one. It's the controller.
Cool. This is Blue Thanos.
Wait, are you serious? Do you know who this character is? Because I don't.
What? Yeah, controller. No, so here's the funny thing. I didn't know him in the comics until the game HeroClix came out. So I had a game, I had a team that was all like people that would control other people's minds. So I used controller, and it was like the Mad Hatter. It was a bunch of other like just mind control people, and they'd all be controlling people, and they can control each other too, and get extra moves out of each other. It was great.
That's funny. But yeah, I need to read up on this guy before I get him. But he's clearly using a lot of parts from Thanos.
And because he's kind of lame, he's an Iron Man villain, and he's an Iron Man villain.
That makes so much sense.
He has the living laser and like Whiplash. Such great villains.
I love the living laser. Just so you know, he's great. He's great.
Dude, he's fantastic. He's fantastic in the Iron Man VR game. They gave him like this weird
He's like
voice.
the Lawmageddon of Iron Man.
He is 100%. It's so good. They need to lean into the wackiness of the living laser.
Nice. Okay, and then I have some...
before we go on. I looked up just Iron Man and Alex Ross, and literally every picture looks like that toy that you said did not look like Alex Ross's toy. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Okay. Well, then there's a few other things that they showed off, and I wanted to see if Frank was interested in any of these. They showed off a new animated style X-Men Storm with the cell shading on her and the giant hair, huge hair.
Looks good.
Yeah. And then they also showed off a new retro Rhino, who's actually slightly different from the Build-A-Figure from back in the day. Both of those and the controller wave all went up for pre-order earlier this week. So if there's stuff that you're interested in, Frank, or anybody watching, those are available now. And then they did tease two other things that are not available at this moment. And it is, they wanted to let us know that they promised that they're not done with What If figures. And the next Disney Plus wave of figures, the Build-A-Figure will be Infinity Ultron. And I think that looks cool. And you can actually, if you look close at it, you can actually see Vision's face in the mouth underneath the helmet. And then, they also showed off that there's going to be another retro figure. It's Future Foundation Spider-Man in stealth mode. So I thought that was like, okay.
I had no idea his Future Foundation suit did that.
Just inverted colors.
Yeah, they just invert the colors and got a new Spider-Man figure.
We'll get those $20 out of him.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Diamonds? I don't see the diamonds. Doesn't he have diamonds on his legs like Harley Quinn? In the future, it might just maybe
I'm get you to buy another toy.
You're making that up, Frank.
You're making that up.
I went on to Ricky's slide. Sorry about that.
Well,
my bad. I did that. I cheated.
I don't know what to do about that.
I don't even know what I saw.
All right.
Oh man, he totally does not have diamonds. I totally made that up.
Okay.
Well,
that's all I got. That's all we got for the news. It was a weak week. What do you want? What do you want from us?
We'll have more, right? We'll get more. The rumor is the Thor trailer is coming out sooner than later. So I would think if I was dropping a big trailer, I would want it attached to a big movie like the Batman. So we'll just kind of wait and see.
Oh, I do have one other piece of news. I mean, it's kind of spoilery, but it's about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
What you got?
The producers have been talking about, because a lot of people are geeking out on that trailer, and a lot of people keep asking the question about, like, is that the Doctor Strange, the evil one from What If? Mm-hmm. And the producers have confirmed that it is not that one, but they are giant fans of the What If show. So they promise that there are other things in that movie from What If, from the What If series.
I think I know
that. But that specific Doctor Strange that you see in the trailer is not the same one that people thought it might be.
That's better, right?
in all honesty, that one in the trailer looks way more evil than the one that sacrificed himself to protect, a universe.
His goatee looks a little bit more evil than the other one.
He looks like super evil, and I'm fine with that.
Which one looks more evil? The What If one or the Marvel trailer?
The movie trailer one.
He looks more evil than the literal devil, the octopus devil. Okay.
Yeah. I think he just is like 5 seconds away from twirling a mustache in that trailer. You know what I mean? Whereas even like, I know the other one has like tentacles and all this stuff going on, but he still like did the noble thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying this one won't. I'm just saying the producers have confirmed it's not him. So I'm just setting expectations.
All right. Consider the
twirly mustache. That's cool. I guess it's a good thing that I can't grow facial hair, because then, people might see me as evil. I'd be evil.
People might know you for who you really are.
Yeah, they might be able to see the inner.
True colors that come out.
Yes. But see, Ricky, I distracted long enough that everybody's forgotten whatever that slide was that I showed.
Let's go right into it.
It's good time.
All righty. Let's get this game going.
And just to confirm, Selena, I asked Ricky if he was capable of putting together a game without you finding or seeing any of it. Did you, in fact, see any of this game before today?
No.
No, all right. It was thrown together very late.
you make us feel so special.
No, we're gonna do another round of everyone's favorite except for Dennis's 10 questions.
Nice.
We're gonna like 20 questions but cut it in half. But the topic, instead of Marvel, figured I'll make it a Disney character.
Oh man.
Let's see if we can narrow it down.
All right.
I think you know what? I think to make it a little easier, I'll cut it down to just the movie. You don't have to name the specific
just movies?
Character. Yeah, just the movie.
Okay.
That's still like over 100.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, almost 100 years of shit.
Now, Selena, just to be clear, that means since there's only 10 questions, we take turns. One of us gets an extra question. Do you want the extra question or no?
Can it depend on how we're doing?
It's
like if I think
effort.
Like, what if I think I can't contribute to the answer if I have the extra question and someone else would be able to?
All right, how about this? You go first, and on question 10, we'll decide what the question is together.
Okay.
If
So it's a
you go-
character.
In a
We're
movie.
going
with
Wait,
movie.
did you say
We're going
animated or
he
is that part of the?
he didn't say. He didn't say. You have, it's
Okay,
gonna be
so it could be like Davy Crockett. Is it Davy
It could
Crockett?
be. It could be. What is
No,
that
don't-
song?
don't-
Song
That
of the
doesn't
Don't
count.
blow
The
our
game
first
hasn't
question.
started yet. The game.
Okay, all right.
I could ask whatever when the game hasn't started.
Oh,
All right,
and
go
as a
ahead.
reminder to the audience, any questions that come from the audience don't count towards Ricky's 10. So,
Unless I say
But-
so.
no, they don't count. So, you can help us out by solving this puzzle.
Well,
with
let's see
cheating
who's
questions.
going to throw out the first stone. First
Selena's
guess.
got it. Selena's got it.
Is this like a real life or animated thing?
It's a yes or no question. So,
Oh, shoot, I forgot about that. Is this an animated thing?
yes.
All right, Frank, you go next because you're better at whittling him down.
Animated.
Question down. Does that narrow down more or less?
Oh,
than if it
he
was-
likes the dates. No, that tells us you don't know a lot of Disney movies.
Was this movie before? Did this movie occur before The Little Mermaid?
So what is it, 1994?
I think it was like 80 something. 80,
A little maybe 80?
88. I want to
Little
say.
Mermaid might be 88 or 89.
Really? Okay. No.
Yeah, I figured it didn't.
Yeah. I don't see in black and white.
Okay, so no, not before 88 or 89, whatever.
Mm-hmm. 2 questions down.
Is this movie 3D animated? I was trying to think of how to ask that
Ooh.
question.
Yeah, that'll give us a good middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
it is.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
A 3D animated movie. You could have asked that question before Frank's and saved yourself a question.
Mm,
So it's newer.
I suppose. No, Tron had 3D animation.
Is it? Okay, yeah, that's true.
Wait.
The one.
Well, the question is like, is it 3D animated versus does it have 3D animation in it? Because I mean, not Little Mermaid. What was it? Beauty and the Beast had the 3D animated ballroom, and Aladdin had the carpet, which was 3D animated.
You're correct. You're true.
You are correct. Mhm.
But you're saying the whole thing is 3D animated, right? That was the spirit of
I
the
said it
question.
was 3D animated.
I believe he's saying that because he didn't
Yeah.
know those things until you said them.
Or did I?
You didn't.
I got Wikipedia open right now.
Wikipedia, son.
You don't even know when Little Mermaid came out.
3 questions.
All right.
3 questions down.
Selena, you got it.
Looks like you're on your phone.
Am I not allowed to be?
No.
Oh,
What?
oops.
We play with integrity here.
Make sure that thing's muted. By the
About to
way,
shut off the Wi-Fi.
make sure it's on silent.
The trick is to put it by your camera so they think you're kind of looking off. That's why I sneak my phone.
Is
No,
it
I'm not on my phone. No, baby, no.
Disney Pixar? Right? Disney Pixar Animation Studios? Is that what it's called?
I guess now it is, but no.
Not at the time or not.
Well, it's not a Disney Pixar.
So you're asking if it's a Pixar movie,
Yeah.
versus a Disney Disney
Yeah,
Animation
yeah.
Studios movie.
Yeah. Correct.
So
Okay.
we're cutting it. So it's like Moana on, I think.
So it's a
Is that right?
Pixar movie, huh?
No, I thought
No,
he
it's
said
not, it's not a Pixar movie.
not a Pixar.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Not a Pixar
okay.
movie.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's like Tangled on, right?
It's not. It's a handful. We
'Cause,
definitely narrowed it.
Princess and the
narrowed it
Frog
down.
was the last animated one, animated, and then I think Tangled was next, or was it?
I think Tangled was the first.
Tangled was the first.
I think it was. Yeah.
Was it? Well, Walt Disney Animated was everything before. It wasn't just the CG stuff, but they just started doing CG stuff.
Yeah, they like adopted it, I guess.
Are you asking us or telling us?
No, I'm telling you.
That counts as a negative question if he asks us.
Yeah.
That's
That's a negative one.
Right,
Wait, did you ask your question,
5?
Frank?
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to.
So
narrow
Frank
it
is
down.
5.
Is the character male or female, or is the character male?
Wait, no, it's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a movie. I thought you said a character.
We did character, but I figured for the sake of not giving you a fighting chance, be a little easier. But
okay,
are you sticking with that question? Or no?
No.
Okay.
Let me see. Does the movie have a female protagonist? The main female protagonist. Does the movie have a main female protagonist?
Is the main protagonist of the movie a female?
That'll be like everything, won't it?
No.
No,
It's not.
no, it's
Okay.
not. There's
Not male protagonist.
Okay, well, in the interest of honesty and transparency, I think I now understand. I know the answer, and I think it's because of what I did earlier. So I'm gonna withdraw myself. I'm gonna withdraw myself from the rest of this competition.
Okay.
And it's
allow
Beverly Hills
Selena,
Chihuahua.
and I'm gonna allow Selena.
In
to
the
take-
spirit
to
of
take
fair
my-
play,
Yes, in the spirit
I,
of
the
fair
10
play.
question committee, applaud your decision.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna remove myself from this because I 100% know the answer.
That's no fair. I want to remove myself from this. I don't 100% know the answer, but I'd love
You
to
can remove yourself from the narrative too.
From the narrative. Selena's turn.
Selena, we're on question 6, right? I lost count. Who are we on?
Yeah, I'll log in as somebody else under you in YouTube, and I'll start asking questions.
Does
I will say this, Frank, you're gonna be upset if you get it wrong.
Am I?
Yeah, yeah, you are a little bit, and then we'll see that villain in you.
Yeah, then it'll come out.
Your mustache will just grow.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. I want to be wrong just to get a mustache, man. I've always wanted a mustache. Ever since the movie Hook with Dustin Hoffman, I always wanted a mustache.
If you got money,
That was
can
a good
get you a
Disney movie.
mustache. You can.
Money can buy me a mustache. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, what's the
Yeah.
prize money for this game? I'll just
Not a mustache.
not a mustache. Damn. Not enough for a mustache.
Sorry, Selena, you can ask.
You get
a
like
question.
a pencil mustache.
Okay.
is the main character's sidekick bigger than the main character?
You're asking if the protagonist has like
character
defined
and
sidekick?
sidekick.
Yeah.
Because they all pretty much, a lot of them have sidekicks. So I guess I'm getting 2 answers out of this question with 1 question, right?
So
Yes.
if it were like
The answer
Pocahontas
to your
or something,
question is yes. Well,
Okay. Because
define bigger. Define bigger.
Bigger than them.
No, bigger is an easy thing to define. It's
Like
it's
my
Physically bigger.
Ricky,
A bigger presence. Yes.
Ricky, it's bigger.
wait.
The
So
sidekick is bigger.
if the answer
This-
was like Mulan or something, I'm not saying it is based on what the questions are, but if the answer was Mulan, would you argue that Mushu is bigger than Mulan
Maybe he has a bigger heart.
based on his presence?
A bigger
Mm.
Eddie Murphy definitely has a bigger presence in that movie.
Oh my goodness!
For the
answer is
majority
Mulan, I'm
of the
gonna be pissed.
movie.
Yes.
For the majority of the movie.
the sidekick is bigger. Yes.
By physical standards, like by physical, just measuring the physicality of this character, it is bigger than
the
the other
dimensions
character.
of the
Yes.
character.
The physical dimensions are bigger. It is
Frank.
a larger character to the protagonist, to the male protagonist.
Hmm.
Yes. Just a male CG.
Wait, does this have to do
protagonist.
with the slide that you went to earlier, Dennis? Is that what?
If it does, you have to withdraw yourself from the
I
competition.
mean,
Shit.
you guys can all. I know you guys can see it. It's there.
No, we can't. Right, the slide
No,
right now is on
the slide is
the Ultron,
Ultron
Spider-Man.
and
Yeah.
Spider-Man currently.
But I remember when Dennis went over to the slide, and I'm all like, oh, that's an interesting character. I wonder what we're talking about with that character. I wonder what's happening in the news with that character.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, oh, I guess,
So,
yeah.
So now
So
you have to.
I realize now what Dennis said, and now I have to withdraw.
Oh my god, what is
It's
happening?
Well, see, here's the thing, Ricky. Just in general, don't put the game slide on the news slide. Then we don't have this problem anymore.
Let me click the buttons.
Well,
that leaves Selena with 3 questions.
Selena's got this. She's
got
it.
this.
She was down to she was getting it narrowed down pretty good on that last.
She's down to clown.
Is this sidekick is it an animal or
No, it's a
Yes
yes
or
or
no?
no
or
question.
oh, is it an animal?
No.
Nice, she's on the right track.
Yeah, you're doing this.
Do I
It's
just
not
say
an
it if I
animal.
know it?
If you
Yes,
well,
you
you
gotta
the
ask- you
final
have to ask the
question.
question.
One of
You
the
gotta ask the
has to be a question.
Oh, okay.
You can narrow it down. You got 2 more.
You got 2 more, or you got 1 more technically for you to make a guess.
And
yeah.
I'm guessing the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Big Hero 6?
It is. Oh my goodness! I wonder how we all jumped to that
Wow.
conclusion.
It's so random. I haven't thought of that in forever. How did that become the?
I mean, I thought I'd be a little cheeky and throw in technically a Marvel Disney character.
Pretty
But
good.
yeah,
This is
It's a
Marvel.
It
Yeah,
is Marvel.
Based on a
Oh.
Marvel.
It's lesser known, but it is a Marvel comic book that Disney just adapted and didn't even put that Marvel logo at the beginning of the movie. And so that's why people
Oh,
always
man,
ask, is this Marvel? Yeah, it is. It's a Marvel comic, and that's why Stan Lee is in it too. But congrats, Selena, for getting this, even though we had to withdraw from the competition.
We had to leave Selena
The
high and
ethics-
dry.
The ethics of
I apologize for forgetting how many slides I had on the toys and clicking ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I saw Baymax, and I'm all like, why did Ricky put Baymax there? That's so weird.
Yeah, I
how'd
thought
you
the
guys
same thing.
like that background music? Is that working for you?
Was that from Big Hero 6, the background music?
No, that was
No.
just from Big
Stre-
StreamYard 6.
That's pretty cool. And now that we don't have it, I'm kind of missing it a little bit.
I
wonder if we
liked
could
it.
have like little.
I think I liked it for the game.
Okay.
I think it spiced it up a little bit, and I think
Well, we can spice up this conversation with some Encanto talk.
that's true. We can, but we can't play that. We can't play their music though.
Okay. You don't have to.
Frank can sing it though.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Can't
Let's do it.
Frank play instruments?
I can. Yeah, I got a piano right over here.
Nice.
Play some Encanto music.
Yeah.
Let's do Encanto.
The energy levels are amazing right now. All right, I'll take over, Ricky. So you don't have to do this.
I lost the button.
You don't have to do anymore for a little bit. Okay, we waited long enough. It's time to put a spotlight on Disney's Encanto. But before we do, spoiler warning. I know this movie came out like a couple months ago, but it's still fair. If you haven't watched it, please turn away and come back when you have. You'll thank us later. And for anyone who chooses to ignore that warning, here's a quick summary of Encanto. Encanto tells the tale of an extraordinary family, the Madrigals, who live hidden in the mountains of Colombia, in a magical house in a vibrant town in a wondrous, charmed place called Encanto. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child in the family with a unique gift, from super strength to the power to heal every child except one, Mirabelle. But when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is in danger, Mirabelle decides that she, the only ordinary Madrigal, might just be her exceptional family's last hope. That write-up was written by Walt Disney and animation. And
I was all like, "Whoa, you got to watch your pauses there, Earl." That
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
Walt,
Actual
it
Walt
was
Disney
written by
would've
the
been down with
ghost of Walt. No,
on his deathbed, he wrote that right up.
I think he would have been down with Encanto. You know why? Because I
Why?
think Encanto made a lot of money.
I thought you were going to say something about there being a lot of females in the movie.
No, because
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, Walt liked the money, and that's what most of his movies were about, is making that money. I was super excited when Selena asked us if we would do this a show on Encanto, and I know I didn't get the same level of excitement from everybody, but like I really thought it was a cool idea because it is a movie with a bunch of people with superpowers, like and I actually have seen this story told several times over in comic books or in other comic book style uh stories and media. So I was like, I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about this show or this movie in this context of four nerds sitting around and talking about superpower stuff. So thank you, Selena, for the idea. And I think I will let you go first and just tell us like what you loved about this that made you say, hey, you guys should do a show about this.
Well, first off, I feel like I wasn't the one who had the idea. I just don't want to. I feel like it was Lindsay.
Was it Lindsay?
I think Lindsay's the one who commented first.
Was it? And you seconded it.
Selena, you're out. Lindsay, you're in.
All right, we're gonna have to get Lindsay mic'd up real quick and get this one out of here.
We're doing it live.
No, actually, I think you might be right. I think it was Lindsay who suggested it, and then Lindsay said you should have Selena be on the show.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, fine.
And I think it was just it was because I agreed with you that when you were discussing what the best song from Encanto was, and everyone was saying it was We Don't Talk About Bruno, and Dennis was like, no, it's Luisa's song. And I was like, yes, it's definitely Luisa's song. It's Surface Pressure.
Well, for the record, Lindsay agrees too, so I still should get her mic'd up.
Okay.
Right? No, I'm just kidding. You're staying. You're on the show.
Surface Pressure.
But the first time I watched the movie, I wasn't crazy about it. And it definitely made me feel a lot of things, but I don't think it was like my favorite Disney movie. But that one song just, oh my God, after I watched the movie, I just played it over and over again, like on repeat. Like, I think the next day, Ricky and I went down to San Diego, and that's all I was listening to in the car. Because I was like, I need to know all these words.
It was a lot.
Selena, that is 100% the same experience I had. Like, I saw the movie, and I was like, that was pretty good. But God damn, that one song was a banger. And the next day, I just went on Disney Plus, and I fast forwarded 40 minutes into the movie. Or like 34 minutes or something. I can't remember exactly.
Pretty early on.
Yeah, it's 34 to 40 minutes into the movie. And I played it again. And I was like, man, this is an amazing song. And then Lindsay started dancing to it. And I rewound it, played it again. Next thing you know, I've played this song so many times. We even tried playing it in Spanish because we wanted to hear what it sounded like in Spanish. It sounds amazing in Spanish as well.
Wait, hold on. Which song? What song? Are we still talking about Under Pressure?
Surface Pressure. Surface Pressure.
I thought that was the one you didn't like, though. I thought
no,
initially.
No, that's my favorite song of the movie. Yeah. And the more and more I played it, the more I just fell in love with the movie. And then I started eventually watching it every now and then again and enjoying the other songs more. And honestly, today on today's the first day I've fully rewatched the movie from beginning to end. And I love the movie so much more than I did the first time that I did, in fact, tell Frank when I first watched it, there were some songs that bothered me because they were very Lin-Manuel Miranda talk singing kind of stuff. I don't know which ones they are anymore because now when I watch it, I'm like, oh, these songs all serve the story so well. Are they all bangers? No, they're not all songs that I would choose to go listen to like regularly. But in the spirit of the story that's being told, all of those songs are really just hit the nail on the head. Like so. But Surface Pressure is still my favorite song.
You had said, and I quote, "Encanto is pretty damn good."
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
pretty good.
I looked at the conversation because I couldn't remember what you said, and I was just curious about it.
What was the date on that conversation?
That date was, I got to go up a little.
Was it like November or December?
We started talking at the early time of
none
11
of us saw
o'clock.
till Christmas.
It was December 27th. Yeah. December 27th.
Yeah.
You're right. It came out for Christmas on Disney Plus, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty damn good. Yeah.
No,
but at the time, the reason I thought it was pretty damn good is because I cried when Surface Pressure played. Like the song made me cry, and I had to fight it today to not let it make me cry, because I'm like, I can watch this song without that, and I can talk more about that, but I do want to hear what either Frank or Ricky have to say about this movie, because you've all watched it twice now, right?
More than twice, but yeah.
Well, that's all right. I mean, at least twice. Sorry. Yeah.
I call it 1.5 times, so twice altogether, but the second time was in 2 halves.
Well, that's fair.
I don't know what it is. I'm becoming my dad, where I start watching a movie and then
I don't even know your dad, and I know you're becoming your dad.
Oh man,
yeah,
100%. Yeah. So. Yeah. So it's been only twice. But I've listened to the soundtrack quite a few times.
Yeah.
Just because I like Dos Oruguitas. I think that's a cool song. I don't know what it is. I think I like it because it's just like you could easily play it.
Orgullitas, right? Orgullitas.
That's the slower.
I know what you're saying.
Song, right?
That's
one?
Okay. The caterpillars, the 2 caterpillars.
The 2 caterpillar song.
But I just like it because you could play it on a classical guitar. It sounds all good in Spanishy. It was the same thing when
Frank has a new campfire song.
Yeah, no, 100%, totally. And then that's a song that I could play, and then everyone will start singing along, and we can just
Frank's the guy that takes his guitar to the party.
Not anymore.
Are we going to hear it?
I'm going to need clarification from Ian in the audience right now. Hard agree that song slays. Are you talking about Dos Orgullitas, or are we talking about Surface Pressure? But we'll get back to you in a little
Pressure pushing down on me.
Not that
Encanto.
song. Yeah.
Let me see.
But what did you think of the movie the second time, Frank?
Dos Oruguitas. That's what he's saying. I'm listening to it right now. I got it. So I put music on the background, and that keeps my my ADD, or what do you call it? My autism, my spectrum. That keeps my
ADHD.
My ADHD. That keeps it in check because I'll have music, and then I can focus on conversation a little better. Mm-hmm. That being said, I wasn't focused on the conversation. What did you say, Dennis?
I said, what did you think about the movie the second time?
I didn't think any more of it than I did. I think I already had my opinions of the movie.
Oruguitas.
But it's spelled like guitas.
Well,
but it's not Italian. It's Spanish.
Yeah. Which is weird because Spanish, you usually pronounce it's usually said the way it's spelled, but it sounds like he's omitting the I or the oruguitas. Yeah, the U. He's omitting the U.
Dos oruguitas.
Yeah. But it's spelled like guitas.
Ian is clarifying that he agrees with Selena
Pressure.
And I. That is the jam he kept wanting to go back to. Anyways, we're gonna get this answer out of Frank eventually. But
what's up? What was the question? One more time for posterity. What was the question? No. Like I said, the movie didn't raise or lower in my esteem. I think it was just it was the same thing. It's the same experience even after talking to you guys about it and whatnot. The music is always a banger. I like the Camila Cabello sounding Bruno song. I think the best. I think that's
it's a good song. It's a really good song.
It's a good mix song.
That one's grown on me, and I did have an actual formal question, a music question for Frank before we move on to Ricky. I've read this. I can't confirm, and that's why I want to confirm with Frank. But do you know what style of song, we don't talk about Bruno, is there's a specific type of song that is referred to?
The music style?
Yeah.
I would probably say Guajira or some kind of Cuban folk. That's what I would say.
Well, what I was trying to get is more specifically, what is the type of song in which several people sing overlapping melodies?
Polyphony. that's when they're all singing separate melodies. He talks about it in Amadeus. Mozart talks about how everyone's singing like a different line of
the
of
word
melodies.
I was looking for was madrigal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
Wait, is that really what it's called? Or
that is what it's called. I mean, you could also be polyphony, but that specific type of song.
Because everybody gets an individual melody, and it's polyphony.
Yeah.
Polyphony. But
Yeah.
I didn't know you want. Okay.
Yeah, but you see where I'm going with that, right?
Yeah.
It was in their name the whole time. No, but that is why, like, I do appreciate. We don't talk about Bruno. The more and more I listen to it, because it's like, wow, yeah, cool. Because you guys know, famously, I watch movies with subtitles, and I learned on the rewatch of that song that a madrigal is the hardest thing ever for a subtitle person, or so for somebody that's making subtitles. You can't do all the words on a subtitle, so you're getting the ones that they decide that you're listening to, because like it's pretty funny because just everybody's saying, yeah, it's not very inclusive.
Is the text just full of just words? It's all words.
No, it's just one person's line.
It's
like when you see the FBI.
They're just like, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. You're just gonna get this person's lines in the song, and you can just deal with it. And I'm like, oh, that's.
But that person's standing in the back. Bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
would it be better if they had words like on the person, like it has the subtitles like off in the distance, and then like the bigger subtitles?
Would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah,
that sounds cool.
Well, I mean, because like honestly, I think the reason Surface Pressure hit me so hard is because I was reading the lyrics as I was watching it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, like when I see the lines, under the surface, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service. That is painful to hear that and to read it at the same time, because it's like, I know so many people that feel that way, and that's powerful. So to the counter to that, it's I can barely tell what the hell's going on, and we don't talk about Bruno because everybody's singing at the same time, and I can only read one of them. So whatever. That's my crutch, is subtitles. I just love them. But we can move on to Ricky. By the way, in case we run out of things to talk about, one of the wonderful things about talking about a movie that's about 3 or 4 months old is there is no end to the trivia, the fun facts that I can pull so much more than when you talk about a movie that came out yesterday or something like that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of fun facts.
So no Batman trivia next week is what you're saying?
I'm saying it's harder to get good trivia because people haven't had time to find it and write about it on the internet. You know what I mean? And consolidate it all on IMDb. But I got way more than just the Madrigal one, so we can fall back on those whenever we need to. But Ricky, it's your turn. You can talk about this movie if you like.
I enjoyed the movie. I'm not an Encanto hater. I don't think it's my favorite Disney movie ever. I don't think it's the worst Disney movie ever. I think it's definitely up there. I was just pretty stoked. I remember after my first watching, I'm like, that grandma sucks. Like that was my initial takeaway, and I thought it was kind of neat and they really don't address that conflict all that well, in my opinion. But the fact that it's there, I think, is kind of cool because at least personally, I know there's always on both sides of my family, there's there's a few authority figures in the family that you sometimes just want to call bullshit on, right? And I think that's a very relatable thing. And at least for a Latinx family, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. People don't apologize when they're wrong. And granted, the grandma on this one did, but just to have that conflict on the table, I thought was
that's how you know it's a fantasy story.
That's my wish fulfillment story right there.
Exactly.
I wish my grandma would apologize.
Yeah. But it was cool to see. The second watch, I really started to appreciate the music. If I had to pick a song that I enjoyed the most, it would probably be I don't say the theme song. I think it's called. Let me pull it up. It's the one they play at the in the credits. The Columbia Mi Encanto.
The Encanto song, yeah.
Like the very cheerful song. I just like the way the vocals in that song go, and it's very uplifting. And I found I like Surface Pressure a lot. I liked We Don't Talk About Bruno. I found the intro song to be a little redundant. Not my favorite, but it's all a beat.
Redundant? You mean the one where she's introducing the family madrigal?
Yes.
Redundant.
Welcome to the family madrigal, home of the family madrigal.
I'm gonna just put this out there. I thought that was the on rewatch. I was like, dude, how do they introduce all these characters way better than the Eternals did?
Yeah, you gotta have a song. You gotta have the
if
song.
If we tell Frank the Eternals has a song, he's gonna watch it.
La la la. He does some stuff.
Because remember when I was applauding the Eternals for wow, they drop 10 characters on you in the first 10 minutes of that movie, and unapologetically, they don't necessarily even tell you their names, and you just have to sit around in the movie and wait to catch their names and their stories later. But if you really pay attention to that song in Encanto, they tell you everything you need to know about every single character.
Up to speed on where you need to be at that story.
Yeah. How is that redundant if it's at the beginning of the movie?
I think it's the lyrics.
Wouldn't it mean the movie is redundant to the song?
Sure.
Yeah, they should cut off the movie and just let it be the song, and then that's it.
Well, it presents the family, not the conflict, right?
Yeah, but so I do have some nerdier things I wanted to talk about. But before that, you did bring something up, Ricky, that I wanted to try and combo into what Frank was saying his favorite song is. So you were saying that you don't feel like they really address the grandma through the movie, as far as all the crap she pulls and everything like that. Yeah. And I caught something on this rewatch about especially during the Dos Oruguitas song. That made it more beautiful to me because as I was watching and listening to the song, I just thought about wow, do you remember the last time or not the last time, do you remember the first time as a kid when you learned about caterpillars and how they undergo a metamorphosis and become a butterfly?
Yeah, they go to the ugly bug ball.
Yeah.
But do
you remember how magical and mind-blowing that was the first time you learned that? And
I don't know if I'd describe it as that.
Yeah,
is that
I don't know.
Really?
I thought it was cool.
You didn't think it was fascinating? You didn't think it... I mean, it doesn't have to be magic, but I mean,
that's magic. Witchcraft. I'm going to burn the teacher. But me and the kids just rose up.
For me, I think that I can remember a time when I thought that was the most cool thing in that moment that I'd learned, right? And then at some point in my life, it became the most mundane thing that I just took for granted. And I could go outside of my home and see a stupid cocoon and be like, ugh, stupid cocoon.
Real original stupid
caterpillar. And just be annoyed by the cocoon that some caterpillar left behind when it became a butterfly. And it got me thinking literally about well, that's the grandma's story. She literally was presented with all of this magic, this wonder, and then over time she just took it for granted, And so I did think it showed, it made me remember something that I took for granted, and at the same time it perfectly illustrated her story. So I thought they really did do a good job of explaining her, but that was in my opinion. I don't know. And it made that song more beautiful
when they explain it. When they explain
correct.
You have to kind of draw your own conclusions from
it. Exactly. I had to do that, right? I had to stop myself and think about when did I stop caring about butterflies? Because that used to be a mind-blowing thing to me when I was little,
I wonder if it's around the same time you stopped caring about your favorite dinosaur or stuff like that. Well, do you have a favorite, Dennis? Okay, let's ask. Let's go around the room. God. Dennis, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Brontosaurus.
Selena?
I don't know, a T-Rex.
T-Rex. Ricky?
Triceratops.
That's good. Mine's Indominus Rex. That's my favorite real life dinosaur.
Oh, man.
No.
All right. So we can make this conversation a little nerdier. We did say it's superpowered. There's a lot of superpowers going on in it. And we kind of alluded to I was just curious what did this story remind you of other stories that you've read or watched before, or like did you see similarities in other comic books or other whatever superhero stories? And what were they?
This, to me, actually reminded me of Frozen 2. So not necessarily comic book, but another Disney movie where it's like this mysterious being or power that's like taking over, and you need to figure out like where it's coming from and make amends to what is causing it, type of thing. I don't know if you guys saw Frozen 2.
Sounds a lot like Moana.
You're the only human being I know that remembers the plot to Frozen 2.
I've never seen Frozen 2.
Oh, really? I've seen it. I totally don't remember it. I don't remember it at all.
I stay away from the Disney sequels. I usually only pain comes of them.
I loved Frozen. Like that was definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. Yeah. So when the second one came out, I was super excited about it, and I wasn't crazy about Frozen 2. And then we watched Encanto, and then it reminded me of it. So then we rewatched Frozen 2, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see the similarities. Definitely not like identical, but yeah.
Okay. Frank, what you got me?
When she described it, what she described from Frozen 2 reminds me of Moana. It's another kind of like secret power where we don't quite know what the origin is, and you have to overcome something big.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is Disney just cannibalizing their own stuff?
I mean,
it sounded like the Mulan remake too, the live action Mulan. Disney.
What about
and Onward also? It sounds like Onward a lot. Mysterious power.
I think Onward's a little different, though. If I had to say right now, I think I like Onward more, but in regards to Dennis's question,
that's because you got daddy issues, bro.
Yeah, I got more than that than grandma issues. So,
who's that little dog? Is that your dog, Ricky?
It's Sheppy.
Oh, okay.
It's not his dog. It's Sheppy.
Sheppy.
What was Into the Spider-Verse? Like Miles kind of fucks up, right? And then he finds out he does his own Spider-Man, and then he's a good Spider-Man.
That's fair. For a while in that movie, Miles is kind of like the one that doesn't
have the powers.
No, he's the dead weight in that movie.
He at least doesn't know how to use the powers, right? So, that's a good one. I actually can see that. Yeah. So I had some other ones that I wrote down that I like that just off the top of my head.
Dennis, before you go on, Lindsay has an answer too. She's most movies based on established story structures, hero's journey, etc. So what? Star Wars?
Okay. Thanks for taking the fun out of it, Lindsay. No. Yes, that is true. It is, but like I was specifically like just seeing what was conjured in each of these people's minds. Like I know that there's a lot of things that are similar just in general among all stories and especially hero's journey stories.
Is Rhea the same? Rhea?
I have such a hard time seeing Rhea as anything but an Avatar clone that I can't distance myself.
What about Avatar? Isn't Avatar
She said you're welcome.
Gemma Chan.
Sorry, I got you off topic twice. I'm sorry.
But there was two specific stories that I kind of like thought about that this reminded me of. I mean, to a lesser extent, also like X-Men and like Umbrella Academy, in that like there's these families that are all living together, and they each have their own unique power.
Or the Nevers, or
the Nevers,
Miss Peregrines.
But I've never seen Miss Peregrines or read it. But to a greater extent,
it's called the Nevers or X-Men.
But to a greater extent, the two that I thought were the most interesting that it made me think of was one, Rising Stars, which is like my favorite comic book ever. And I thought about that because the point of that story is like there's a meteor that hits Earth, and then like I don't know, some like 200 something people all over the Earth that were born on that day. They were all born with powers, and they couldn't make rhyme or reason out of why they had these powers. And it wasn't until like they started dying like because they were murdered. Like there was like the whole thing starts as a murder mystery, and people are being murdered, and each time people are murdered, other people become more powerful, and they kind of start inheriting the powers of the dead ones, right? And as the story progresses, you finally realize, oh, that kind of sucks. Like they all of them ended up dead because they were all given a specific power that they were all meant to use together. There was a greater purpose for why they had these powers, and if they would have taken the time to actually communicate with each other, they could have understand that there was that purpose, you know. And so I see that in this movie, you know. And like,
are you predicting that's going to happen in Encanto 2? Like they're going to start dying off?
No, I hope there's not a murder mystery in Encanto 2.
And then Maribel's going to have everyone's. She's going to Peter Petrescu, everyone, or Peter Petrelli, everybody.
Yeah. But I think the opposite is I appreciated that in Encanto, this family, they worked together, they communicated with each other to find a way to make sure that their gifts not only helped their family, but helped everybody in their village around them. You know?
Yeah, they're a pretty good unit at the start.
Yeah, they were a pretty good unit. And then eventually grandma just forgot that butterflies are cool. And then she just treated Mirabel like a piece of shit.
I mean, but another topic was like the Bruno stuff too. I feel like a lot of families have like that person they don't talk about, for better or for worse. And
sure. Sounds like you might be the Bruno in your.
I mean, I'm related to Dennis.
That's why I wanted to do this show, because I wanted to I wanted to be there for you when you found out you are the Bruno, Ricky.
It's like Maury Povich. Ricky, you are
congratulations.
You are
the Bruno.
I'm fine with being the Bruno.
No, yeah, he had a sick song. He had a sick song.
Yeah.
No powers.
You're not the Bruno, but
voiced by John Leguizamo.
Yeah. But the other one, and I know it's a bit more of a stretch, but it kind of falls into that same idea of Spider-Verse a little bit. But The Boys, it kind of reminded me of The Boys in that, like, that's a story about people that are powerless, that are struggling to like do good in a world where everybody, you know, like everybody is valued for their superpower. And at the same time, what you're seeing is all the superpowered people in those stories, their lives kind of suck because nobody sees them for anything more than their superpower, right? They have all these other things they have to offer, but nobody gives a crap about that, right? And so you see that in Encanto also, like with Bruno, right? His power is vision, right? But dude wanted to be an actor. He wasn't ever given the chance to be an actor, right? Because like people only see you for the
great
thing.
Power comes great responsibility.
There was two things to that I want to mention, Dennis. Like it does kind of remind me like what you're saying with The Boys and how it sucks when you don't have powers. Did you see that episode of Darkwing Duck where he goes to the planet where everybody's super powered and he has no powers?
Yeah, I don't remember very well, but yeah.
It just reminds me of that. But also there was a comic book in the 80s called Normal Man. Do you remember that one?
No.
He's just some dude in a tweed blazer, and everyone on the planet has powers, and everyone's kind of like, it's the same premise as the Darkwing Duck episode. Like they all like step in line just to save him, like everybody, and it sucks being him. He hates himself so much. Like he tries to like throw himself off buildings and stuff. I'm not sure if it's really like it's played for comedy. It's not played for like seriousness. This is back when you can joke about serious mental problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everyone would save him and stuff. It was good. It was good.
But
good
see,
book.
Guys, I knew we could actually talk about this and it wouldn't be weird because it is nerdy stuff and it made us think about nerdy stuff and it actually made me appreciate The Boys more. By thinking,
just plugging our upcoming slate of shows.
Sure, no, but like, I mean, honestly, like it added for me a layer because, like, for The Boys, I get so distracted by the violence and the comedy and all these things that sometimes I forget about like how sad some of their lives are, right? In those stories. Selena, you watched The Boys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like the Aquaman ripoff. That guy's life.
We don't talk about the deep.
Yeah, even like deep. Starlight in the second season, like she starts like, start finding out she didn't have a choice to have these powers, right? And her parents made that choice for her.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's Louisa, right? Louisa had this power that technically is just so useful. Like just on paper, it's like you see that power and you immediately know that she's the workhorse, right? And she doesn't get to choose to do anything other than everything that people tell her to do, because we need her to go lift that and put that together and break this
Gotta
and do
get the
that.
donkeys.
Yeah, exactly. So Lindsay has 2 comments. I'm going to put them up in reverse order because one of them was one I was already planning to ask, actually. So good on her for doing it. But I will do this one first. Back to the topic of if Encanto 2 was a murder mystery, Dolores would ruin any detective story, by the way, unless you killed Dolores first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she'd be
just
the
so
first
you
to
know.
go.
She's the first target.
Dolores would have to be the first to
Gonna
go.
Clap her ears like the boys.
Oh no.
So
Oh no, I don't want to think about any of these guys dying violently. That's the worst.
So before I ask Lindsay's second question, I do want to know, just off the top of your heads, which Madrigal was your favorite? Like, I mean, just power wise, which one was the one that you liked the most? Selena can go first.
I was gonna say guess goes first.
Oh man, this was hard. Like I felt like I had to identify with the middle child, which originally I thought was Isabella, the one who has the flower powers. But then I looked it up, and she's the older one, and then Luisa, and then it's Mirabel.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking Luisa was the oldest one the whole time, because when that song came out, like everyone on social media was like, oh my gosh, this is like the song for the oldest in an immigrant family, you know, because they carry so much pressure being the oldest. They basically have to, you know, be a mom or be a dad to their younger siblings. And they're usually like the translators of the family because their parents don't speak English. They lead the way. They have to be good role models and stuff like that. So that's why I thought
it broke your brain when you learned.
Yeah, it broke my brain when I learned. So now because before it was difficult for me to say Luisa, but now for sure, like final answer, because I'm a middle child, and I'm like, this is the song I feel like of a middle child for sure. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Which
It makes sense.
Which character does it for you, Ricky?
Oh man, which character like that I want like the power that I relate to the most?
We're talking about powers. We're not making you.
Oh,
we're not making you stress.
I like the Pepe's powers. I want the weather.
Control the weather.
The weather
Yeah,
control one.
Yeah. Is it Peppa, right?
Peppa.
I think it's Peppa. Yeah,
It's
Peppa.
Peppa Pig.
I want weather. I want to be Storm.
It's pretty good, but
Yeah.
that one's tied to emotions, which I guess actually Storms is too, huh?
Yeah.
No, Storms is too.
Yeah, if you get her pissed, yeah.
And then I get
fair.
the leotard too if I get those powers.
Yeah.
And you get a mohawk, sweet white
mohawk.
mohawk.
What about you, Frank?
I think I enjoy Bruno's powers. You know, I'm always a big fan of the Malkavians in the World of Darkness books, and they always get these fractured images of the future. And I love getting an image of the future and not knowing what to make of it and like puzzling over it. It's WandaVision all over again.
Nice.
I'd love my life to be WandaVision. That'd be great.
You can make some good money with Bruno's powers.
I love these
Sports
answers.
Almanac.
I gotta say, I'm trying to remember. Is her name Julieta, the Mirabel's mom?
The healer with
the food thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a really
Where
cool
does that
power,
does
man.
that extend to mental issues?
Yeah, that's no, obviously not with that family. No.
Yeah, I don't know, but
a
like,
lot of baggage. She
but
used to make like a bunt cake or something.
On paper, that's an amazing power, and like, I think I would love that one the most.
Julieta, I got some hemorrhoids. Can you whip me up that cake that you make?
Make it spicy so they come right
back.
back.
Does she have like a don't ask, don't tell policy with her food? Like,
I don't know, man, but that, like, I don't want to think too much about that power. I just know that on paper it's freaking awesome. And I love that she ended up marrying a man that's got all these allergies and always ends up in beehives, and he's constantly getting allergic reactions and then getting fed. And
that's the best person you could marry if you're that accident prone. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So now we're going to go to Lindsay's question, which is kind of a follow up. But what would your magical powers be, and what kind of cool designs would you have on your Madrigal family door plate? So now you're not picking the ones that are in the movie. You get to choose your own new one. And Selena actually also asked this question before the show, and so I'm glad that we got it worked in naturally from Lindsay.
I still don't have my answer though.
Okay, then we'll come back to you.
I've been thinking about it for days.
Yeah, you asked me this question probably days ago, and that's pretty funny. Okay, cool. We'll move on. We'll go to Frank because I'm pretty sure his will be fun.
I don't know. I'm thinking like a Kilgrave, Purple Man, mind control type power. And then it might be like just a picture of like Chris Hansen or something above my door, like for my symbol. That'd be pretty good.
All right. Okay. I can go comedy with you. But let's see what Ricky's got first.
I want to be Forge. Like I want to be able to fix or build anything on the spot.
That's a damn handy power to have in the family of the Madrigals. What would your door look like?
That era though.
What would my door look like?
You could forge a candle. You could forge
the Windows 2003 Clippy.
I think they had TV. I think at the time.
Did they have TV in there?
Well, because Bruno's looking at
radio,
he was talking about his TV shows or radio shows, something like that. Yeah, so
that's true.
Yeah, so it's not like total.
I mean, I could build one, right?
So wait, go back to Ricky's answer. What was it?
Clippy.
You said Clippy. You're
Clippy.
Okay, all right.
We need to bring back Clippy, man. That's a underrated little helper.
Better than Cortana.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
All right. Well then, since so I'm giving Selena a few more moments, I'll answer mine. I probably would have stolen Frank's because I do love Professor X's powers, and I also like Druig's powers in the Eternals. That's probably my favorite power.
I don't know who that is.
It's very similar to Professor X, but he uses it more liberally than Professor X does, and so
that's pretty liberal.
I know.
Professor X takes some liberties.
Yeah, Druig is very much about like, oh, no, your argument, you're done. Now you're just going to go back to work, and you're all going to be a very happy community, and it's awesome. Like it's definitely crossing a line.
It's like Jonestown.
Yeah, for sure. But since I'll let Frank have that. My backup is always I want lasers to shoot out of my eyes, and then I sit around and drink beer while the family figures out how to make that useful to everybody else. And then my door is a big laser hole on it.
You would just be my welder. You would just weld all my shit for me.
Well, what kind of laser? If it's like Cyclops laser,
it's a plasma. It
should be a laser like with the strength of a laser pointer.
It's concussive now.
It's a concussive laser blast like Cyclops is.
Well, Dennis entertains the cats. That's what he does when we have. He keeps them busy so they don't mess up the house.
But when I get really drunk, I just it goes wild everywhere.
Yeah, then we have to get a new cat.
Or a new house.
He can keep the candle lit from his bed.
All right.
There you go.
And by the way, before we go back to Selena, Ian did follow up with my answer and say healing people with food is great unless you hate to cook. That is true.
Oh yeah.
I really hope Julieta likes cooking. I think she does.
She seems to.
And then Selena, now we've given you enough time. You had several days, but now you're under the pressure. What's the power?
Surface pressure.
Like the song.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Tick, tick, tick.
Is the goal of a Madrigal's power to be useful? Because you're mentioning that, but it's like Peppa's powers, how are those useful?
She knows everything that's going on in the town.
No, the weather.
Oh, sorry, the weather. Oh, the weather. You can rain on crops.
Yeah.
But if it's linked to emotion, how do you
Got to keep her happy.
Well, if she's in a good mood, she can control it, right? Like,
Yeah.
So just have her watch a Pixar movie, like the first 10 minutes of Up, and then have her go out to the crops.
Exactly. Yeah, you could like. I mean, I won't go there. I almost went somewhere dark.
Oh no!
I almost went somewhere dark, but I won't. But the point is if you hurt her feelings, you could have some great crops in a few months. You know. But her power is very useful.
All year long.
If the ability to manipulate weather is incredibly powerful, and it's usually why Storm is one of the most powerful X-Men there is.
It's really just controlling wind, right?
No, Storm controls all weather, all
aspects
of weather.
Like in the old Marvel
humidity.
Okay.
She's got the highest power score in the
electricity, or the amount of dryness in the air, which would create the electricity. Yeah, she can do a lot.
She's basically the Avatar.
Yeah, it's kind of like
snow.
You know how people like make fun of the Flash.
You put up a fog.
You know how people make fun of the Flash when he's like standing next to Superman. I kind of feel that way about Iceman when he's standing next to Storm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cool. You can do the one. She can do a lot more than that. So.
Isn't Iceman considered Omega level though? What was the point of that though?
I don't know. To make us have a conversation about that.
Why isn't Storm an Omega level mutant? I feel like she could do way worse than most people.
Because racism, Frank.
Because racism? Because she's African? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, go back to Selena.
Sorry.
Selena's turn.
Maybe like microscopic like sight. I feel like that would be helpful. I have really bad eyesight to begin with, so it'd be nice to be able to see things.
Whoa!
Like
so that's
X-ray vision.
That's kind of like
microscopic sight. No, that's cool.
Or maybe just super sight, and it's like
that'd be great. I'd be like, hey, Selena, can you check if I have COVID? And then zooms in. She's like, "Yep, I see."
That's kind of it's kind of like a twist on Dolores's power, right? Because she's hearing what's going on.
Yeah, you could see through her bullshit.
Or see that she's got ticks.
Reverse Daredevil.
I'd wear cool glasses, and maybe, I would just want the glasses. It's just for style.
Okay.
So
lenses.
I do have a fun fact regarding the glasses. So apparently, when they were just deciding on the location for this movie to take place, it was up in the air between like Brazil and I think Colombia. And so Lin-Manuel and the whole producing crew, they did a tour of Colombia, and like they ended up in a specific town that had a tour guide that was giving them all these details that they fell in love with it, and they were so inspired. And that tour guide is actually, they based the look of Mirabelle off of her, because with the frizzy hair and the giant glasses, that was actually their tour guide when they were visiting the town. So
I don't know if her hair's frizzy.
It's frizzier than everybody else in that family.
No.
It's quite frizzy.
I feel like it's just curly.
Curly seems like.
No, I mean, you should go beat up the person who ran that
frizzy hair, right? Just in a bun.
Well, that family's has textured hair because they're Afro-Latino.
I feel sad now that story didn't do the thing that it was supposed to.
I did like the Afro-Latino
hair and this angle hair-splain us.
The mixed family that we got. It was kind of neat seeing different skin on Disney characters, in that capacity.
That's a good point. But also, if it were like a traditional white Disney characters, they would probably just inbreed. if it were that kind of story, it would be like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, how big's that town? Like, how are they?
I'm not sure.
Do people come in like newbies?
Yeah.
Or is it like closed off, like no one can get to it?
I think
sure.
Maybe they go out there and they're like, "You will be my husband," and then they bring
Like-
allergy guy into the fold.
Well, it almost sounded like an arranged marriage, right? Was Julieta?
I don't
There
think
was
it was.
there was like a courting family aspect of it.
It wasn't arranged, but the husband was somebody that had befriended Abuela early on, because I believe the oldest husband is significantly older than his wife. I read that somewhere today when I was looking all this up. But yeah, I did have some other stuff. Not all of it has to go in this episode. We can save some of it for later. But I did want to note, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the voice actress that plays Mirabelle, Stephanie Beatrice. Have any of you guys watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
Yeah. Rosa Diaz. For the longest time, I thought that's just how she sounds in real life, until I saw the Comic-Con panel for Brooklyn Nine-Nine's final season, or I think the season, before their final season. And I heard her talk, and she sounds nothing like her character of Rosa Diaz.
No.
And nothing at all. She's like, and so it's actually really funny because the producers were originally going to offer Stephanie Beatrice the role of Luisa, because they thought the same thing as I did, because they were familiar with her work on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But actually, after meeting her, they realized that she's like way more bubbly, and they immediately offered her the role of Mirabelle, which I thought was pretty cool.
I had seen her do like an improv thing on YouTube like 5 years ago, and that's what that's like the clicky moment, like, oh, she's not just like the personification of Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's got range. And I've seen her in some other stuff. Like she's in The Heights, completely different character.
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, and the more and more I watch her, I'm kind of convinced that she might be the next Gary Oldman. She's got some characters in her, man. Like it's pretty impressive. Like she definitely changes everything about her every time she plays a different character. So it's pretty cool.
So she's going to be Drexel in the gender swap True Romance cartoon. Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Actually,
right. She'll be the Commissioner Gordon in
she'll be
the next Batman
in the next one. Yeah. By the way, she also auditioned for the part by singing "You're Welcome" from Moana.
Nice. Cool. That's pretty cool.
She is a giant Disney fan, and I read somewhere today that she actually celebrated her bachelorette party at Disneyland. That's how she chose to do her bachelorette.
One of those people.
It got all wild.
Yeah, one of those.
The details of which we're gonna have to discuss in the soapbox. Unfortunately, it's too hot for this channel.
Yes, and then I had one last one that I wanted to share specifically with Selena, in case you haven't noticed it. I was curious if you noticed it. Had you noticed anything special about the clothing of each character in the movie?
Yes, it relates to their, like, some sort of design on their clothing relates to their power.
Yes. Yeah. Every single one of them has a pattern in their clothing that is a kind of a tell, which is funny because the youngest boy, Antonio, that's receiving, his clothing actually has the animals on it before he receives the gift, which is spoilers. And
then Mirabelle gives him like the stuffed animal.
Well, jaguar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So spoilers.
So it's like training wheels. It's like grooming you to get your powers.
Yeah. Oh, so and then
I would have to dress all in purple when I join the family.
Ian wanted to mention that apparently Stephanie Beatrice also played General Sweet Mayhem in the Lego Movie 2.
She did, yeah.
She's got range, man. She's crazy. Like
Lego
I love
Movie
her.
2? There's a second.
Yeah, she's
one?
in Lego Movie. What?
Yeah, there's a second one.
Not as good, but still fun.
Wait, am I Mandela affecting? What's happening here? Wait, Lego Movie 2? Wait, we're talking about like Emmett and Wild.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a sequel.
It literally picks up at the end from the end of Lego Movie 1. When
what is happening in this world?
And Lego Batman comes back for that one too, in a reduced role, but he's in it.
There's a Ninjago movie too as well. So
I think I think we gotta wrap it up because now Frank is experiencing
Frank's
some
gonna watch the
Alzheimer's.
Lego Movie 2.
Lego Movie 2.
Now on HBO
Yeah.
Max.
We were talking about a Disney movie, and now we're on Lego Movie 2. Okay, I think we gotta wrap this up.
Was this a pandemic movie?
He's got a Mandela effect hard right now. It's time to wrap this up, true believers. Check back with us next week when we'll be discussing a certain Batman movie. And I just want to say thanks to Selena, Frank, and Ricky for nerding out with me today. If you'd like to take a moment to let people know where they can find you, now's your chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, that got quiet.
Hold it.
It's fine. It's fine. I like to give people the chance to do it. But if you're interested, you can follow us or follow me on Denix Media everywhere on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And where I just post all kinds of stuff. I think the latest thing I've been putting up is I've been parsing up those trivia amalgam videos and putting them up as TikToks. I don't know if you guys have noticed that at all. But yeah,
I did. They came out good.
And then thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth and to our audience for tuning in. If you had fun, what can they do, Frank?
Oh man, they could smash that like button the way the thought of the Lego Movie 2 just smashed my fragile little brain. Also leave a comment that helps the algorithm. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to our Patreon, and buy from our sponsors, Blue Chew and Skillshare. Make sure to get from them and let them know that you want us to be sponsored by them.
I'll put a disclaimer up later. Those are not our sponsors. It's okay. I still love Frank for every effort that he puts into it, even though his brain is warping right now. All right, guys. We gotta go. It's time for us to head over to the after show, the Soapbox. Thanks for watching Den Excelsior, true believers. Enough said.
Bye, guys.